Premier League predictions once more here on the Prediction Show. Welcome back. I am Joe, the founder, developer, designer, etc. of OddAlerts.com and the host of this show, the Prediction Show, where we're going to cover the Premier League this weekend. Plenty of games and even more stats to get through. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So we will start with the Friday night game. It is Manchester United away at Bournemouth. Now, this game produced an absolute cracker the last time they met. 4-4 with plenty of goals coming in the second half. And that is a trend for Manchester United this season, as is BTTS. Manchester United has seen BTTS landing in 87% of away games this season and 9 of the last 10 games on the road in the Premier League. You can see a clear improvement, of course, under Michael Carrick. They are scoring goals, they are winning games, and they are playing very well when they need to. Now, if you've missed the last few videos, you might have missed that we actually launched our own football index rankings page and tool. And you can see here the visual for both of these teams using our new indexes. We can see the clear improvement under Michael Carrick. This is showing the last 10 games, and that spike there is the clutch metric, which measures the second half impact of a team. So Manchester United scoring when it matters under Michael Carrick, scoring late goals as well. Will they do it again tonight? Now, there's been plenty of goals for both of these teams in all of their Premier League games this season. They are averaging 3 goals or more. That is total goals on average for both teams, and that actually puts Manchester United first in the Premier League for that metric, and Bournemouth are third. The last meeting, as I mentioned before, ended 4-4 at Old Trafford, so if you're looking for goals tonight, let's hope for more of the same. For me, at the moment, I think there's great momentum in this Manchester United team. And as we'll see in a minute, based on Bournemouth's form, I think they've got a great chance of getting a result here tonight. And I think they'll be really, really confident of finishing in the top 4 under Michael Carrick this season. So let's take a look at Bournemouth. They are coming into this unbeaten in 11 games, but do have 7 draws during that time, including each of the last 4 games. And just look at some of the teams that they have drawn against: West Ham, Sunderland, Brentford and Burnley. Now, if they were showing the form of last season, Bournemouth, and they've been good at times this season, don't get me wrong, but they've gone up and down, whereas last season I think they were just really, really consistent. You would expect them to beat all of those teams potentially, or at least win maybe 1 or 2 of those games. So drawing all of those games might kind of inflate the meaning of unbeaten in 11. There's a lot of draws in there. Now on to bookings, and across the last 10 away games and also consistently this season, Manchester United's opponents have picked up 2 or more bookings in games. United's opponents have been booked in 90% of games this season, that is home or away, and discipline has been better as well since Michael Carrick took over. And finally, before we put together our selection for Friday night, some timing data. Manchester United's recent games, that is the last 10, have averaged 2.1 goals in the second half compared to just 0.9 in the second half. And that leads me nicely into this selection. It is most goals to be seen in the second half, and Bournemouth to get the most cards at 3.6. Now, I will tell you that I initially had Manchester United to win at just over evens and Bournemouth to get the most cards, but I think most goals being in the second half, I'm not discrediting Bournemouth. They are that type of team that can raise it to new levels against better opposition, but it does worry me that they've drawn those recent games 4 in a row against those kind of opponents last season and also in parts of this season. You would watch Bournemouth and think they can beat absolutely anybody on their day, so that's why I just tweaked it a little bit, and it was actually the same odds. So Manchester United to win, or most goals in the second half, and Bournemouth most cards, both 3.6. Now let's take a look at Saturday's action, and we're going to do something called Flash Stats. So here are the games being played on Saturday, as we can see, and I'm going to do something called Flash Stats, and this data comes from our good friend OddAlerts AI. You can access this through many tools now on the website, but a good overview and a great entry point is our AI football predictions page. You can access this via the link in the description, and a lot of the data that I'm going to give you here has come directly from that page. And whilst I'm reeling off the stats like a madman, don't forget to get, that was right, it didn't sound right, don't forget to put your comments in the comments. Don't forget to put your predictions in the comments. At this rate, I'd just be glad you're still watching the video. Liverpool have scored in 9 out of 10 recent games, hitting 20 goals. Just 8 goals in the same period for Brighton. Liverpool are averaging 16.8 shots per game and 6.9 corners awarded per game across the last 10. Liverpool's games produce 11.8 corners on average, and over 9.5 corners has landed in 9 of their last 10 games. Liverpool are averaging 2.1 second half goals compared to 0.9 in the first half, very similar to Manchester United. The away win at 2.34 carries about 3% value with our probability model. Now on to Fulham against Burnley, also on Saturday. Big game for the Clarets. Over 2.5 goals has landed in 7 of the last 10 games for Fulham, and also in 7 of the last 10 home games that they've played. They are a very good goal-scoring team this season. Burnley have conceded 19 goals across the last 10 away games. Over 2.5 goals at 1.83 is backed by the OddAlerts probability model and carries 7.5% value. BTTS has also landed in 7 of the last 10 home games for Fulham, and also in 7 of the last 10 away games for Burnley. 8 of the last 10 games for Fulham saw most goals coming in the second half. Fulham win 6.7 corners per game on average. Over 10.5 total corners at 1.61 is a decent angle to add to any potential bet builders. Everton hosting Chelsea. Chelsea kicked out, spanked out of the Champions League by PSG, who look very, very good, getting into their groove at this stage of the season, just like they did last season as well. They will be many people's favourites for the competition. How do you see this one going? Let's get into some flash stats for Everton against Chelsea. Chelsea have scored 24 goals in the last 10 games, but they have also conceded 17 during that time. Everton are consistently scoring. They've scored in 9 of their last 10 games despite modest returns. BTTS is slightly overpriced with the probability model. The market implies 59%, but our model implies 55%. Chelsea games at the moment are averaging 5.1 cards per game. The away team, which is Chelsea in this case, has only won once in this fixture across the last 10 meetings. Now, of course, this is a new home stadium for Everton. Will that continue this trend, or will Chelsea go there and get a win on the first attempt? So for those 3 p.m. games, this is what I am looking at here. We have Fulham hosting Burnley. Fulham to get a couple of goals at least in that game, and one of them to come in the second half, where they have been so good in recent times. And the model overvalues BTTS, but it is marginal, and I do think Chelsea look a little bit vulnerable at the moment. 1.66 for Everton to continue their good scoring form. You know, it's rare that they go and score 2, 3, 4 goals, and we don't need them to. They could happily get beat 3-1 here. That would be fine for us. 3-2. I think they'll give a good account of themselves here, Everton, and score against Chelsea. And Chelsea, given the players that they have, are always capable and always expected to score as well. So 3s are the odds for that selection. Now, let's take a look at the final game of Saturday, which is Brentford away at Leeds. So again, we're going to do the flash stats. All of these have been provided by OddAlerts AI. Link in the description if you want to check out OddAlerts in any capacity. We have so many new features and tools launching all the time. Just like the bet slip generator here, you can now set automated alerts up for the bet slip generator. This means that you can have it run in the background for you and send you bet slips to your Telegram account. You can set up the time, which days, if you just want weekends or midweek games, you can set it all up. It's all very, very customized and delivers right to your phone. And that is now available for all pro users. So Yes, thank you for listening to that little bit of a plug. Now let's get back to the Premier League. So I mentioned Brentford's away form, and it is pretty elite, to be honest. 7 wins, 2 draws and 1 defeat in the last 10 games. Very, very good indeed. And during that run, Brentford have scored 42% of their goals after 70 minutes. That is a pretty crazy percentage. Now, despite the away form, the home win actually offers just under 10% value with the model. Our model gives Leeds a 41.9% chance of winning this game. Over 2.5 goals is also backed by the model at 1.98, decent odds, and there's around 9% expected value on offer there. Both sides average 11.4 corners across the last 10, and in the last 10, over 9.5 corners landed in 9 out of 10 games for Brentford. And we mentioned the remarkable away form. Defending has been pretty good too. 5 clean sheets in the last 10 away games for Brentford. What are your thoughts on this one? Here's what I am on for this. And I think the odds are pretty good. Brentford to score in the second half and have over 1 corner in the second half. Odds of 2.5. The thinking there is, if they're getting so many goals and chances in the second half, 42% across the last 10 games, was it? Then they're going to, if they're attacking, if they're pressing, corners come with that. And for them to just have more than 1 in the second half, I thought they were pretty generous odds as well, given the recent data that we have access to here at OddAlerts. So as promised, here are some full Premier League predictions. I've just covered Friday and Saturday's games. If you want Sunday's games analysed by me as well, 1,000 likes is the target, and I'll be back here. It's a bit of a social contract between us. If you want that, that's what you have to do, because it takes a lot of time to plan these videos and record them and edit them. So yeah, Sunday, if you want those games and you can see them there, what a fixture list it is as well. Newcastle, Sunderland, Tottenham, Forest. Woo! They don't come much bigger than that at the moment, do they? And then Aston Villa against West Ham. Aston Villa, good opportunity, of course, to push back up the league and get some form again in the Premier League with Arsenal and City not playing. So Bournemouth against Manchester United on Friday. Bournemouth have tightened things up recently. They've got some good results, not conceding many goals, but also plenty of draws. I don't think this one will be a draw. I think Manchester United have got enough about them to get a victory. I'm going to go with a 3-1 victory to Manchester United. More good times for Michael Carrick. Brighton, Liverpool, they've served up some classics in recent years, and I don't think this one will be. I'm going to go with a Liverpool 2-0 victory. Professional job, in and out from Arne Slot's men. Fulham, Burnley, many will see Burnley already as down, but I think a defeat here will just be another sort of nail in the coffin and confirmation that they are going to be playing in the Championship next season. They've just not got enough. They do score goals away from home, as we saw BTTS. They've got a high BTTS record in recent times and across the last sort of 20 games, to be honest. But they're not winning those games. They're barely getting points, and it's okay scoring, but if you're conceding 2-3 goals every game, you're not going to stay up. So I'm going to go with a 3-0 Fulham victory for that one. And Everton-Chelsea, it's a tough game to call this. Everton can up it, just like we mentioned with Bournemouth. They can up it depending on their opponents. And I think this game might suit Everton a little bit. I think Everton can get a draw here. I'm going to go with a score draw, 2-2. And I expect a pretty good game there, good atmosphere at Everton as well. Leeds United against Brentford. Can also see a bit of a draw here as well, but I do like the way Brentford play, especially away from home. Their away form is so good because of how they play, how they break. They've got really good runners in that team, especially Kyoto as the right back. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Brentford here. And this is a big game for Leeds, by the way. Leeds will be expecting to get some points here, and they need a couple more wins, I think, Leeds, to really have a bit of confidence about staying in the Premier League. So they are my Saturday and Friday predictions. If you want Sundays, 1,000 likes is the target. And just like that, we are done with another video here on the Prediction Show. If you want more, get in the Discord on OddAlerts, follow on X. There is plenty of insights for many leagues around the world being posted there daily. And if you've been wondering, no, this is not a Richarlison shirt. It is an original Ronaldo shirt, the OG Ronaldo. I might do my hair like his for the World Cup. What do you reckon?